Are you guys also tired of seeing the same VR games everywhere and missing out on hidden gems? If yes, then you're going to love this video because today I'm counting down 10 ultra underrated VR games for MetaQuest 3, PSVR 2, and PCVR that only about 10% of people on Earth have even heard of, but absolutely everyone should. These aren't the big titles everyone talks about. These are hidden gems with insane gameplay, crazy worlds, and experiences that you guys will really like. So, stay tuned and let's get straight into our first title. But before that, I need you guys to mention in the comments about your underrated VR game that everyone should try at least once. Hellsweeper VR. When I first loaded up Hellsweeper VR, I had zero expectations. Just another VR hack and slash, right? But damn! Descending into that demon-infested underworld and slicing through hordes with telekinesis, elemental magic, and crazy bullet time maneuvers instantly hooked me. What makes this game underrated is how it blends fast-paced roguelike action with satisfying, weighty combat that actually feels good in VR. Something you don't see every day. A ton of maps, enemies, and weapon upgrades keep every run feeling fresh, and the optional co-op adds this wild chaos when you're screaming at your buddy mid-fight. Most people slept on it because it dropped in a crowded release window, but trust me, if you love visceral, full-bodied combat in VR, this one's a hidden gem that absolutely deserves a try.
Jules, you hear me?
Loud and clear, Levi.
How's the clock tower?
From out here, you wouldn't know it was sinking.
You got here just in time.
The Last Clockwinder. Let's talk about how clever The Last Clockwinder really is. It took me a minute to realize this wasn't just another VR puzzler. It's a puzzle automation experience where you literally record your own actions and make Clockwork clones do them for you. The challenge isn't just solving puzzles, it's designing these elegant little systems that actually work in a satisfying loop. That automation mechanic is what makes it stand out. You're not just thinking one step ahead, you're thinking in loops, coordinating your own creations like a mental engineer. It's super chill, but brain-tickling. And yet hardly anyone raves about it the way they do other VR puzzle games. Honestly, if you love that aha moment when a solution finally clicks after messing up 100 times, this one is one of the most underrated VR experiences out there.
Hello there. What is that thing? A boundary? You can't move through it, I see.
T for God. I was skeptical before trying T for God, but wow, does this game do something different. On the surface, it looks like a sci-fi shooter, but the real magic is its impossible spaces locomotion. You can physically walk, turn, and explore huge worlds that never leave your real-life play space. Seriously, that alone made me feel like VR had broken a new frontier. The procedural world keeps surprising you, and you can tailor the difficulty to be relaxing or intense, which most games don't let you do. People often overlook this because it isn't a flashy blockbuster, but its tech and world design are genius. Walk through corridors that loop back on themselves, fight robots, and feel truly present in VR. That's not something many other titles can pull off. If immersion is your thing, this is an absolute must-try. Hide the Corpse. Honestly, Hide the Corpse is one of the funniest, wildest VR games I've ever played. The core idea is hilariously simple. You've got 4 minutes to hide a body before the cops show up, dragging a floppy corpse around all kinds of absurd environments. What makes it special is the chaotic physics and creative problem solving. Every room becomes a goofy puzzle where hiding spots range from underwater to zero gravity. And updates like the Modifiers update add ridiculous twists like bouncing bodies or slippery oil physics. A lot of players don't give it a shot because the premise sounds weird. But that's exactly why it's so fun. It's comedy plus clever design. If you want laughter and out-of-the-box VR gameplay that's perfect for streaming or group reactions, this deserves way more attention than it gets. Path of the Warrior. When I tried playing Path of the Warrior, it felt like an old-school beat-em-up arcade machine was dropped into VR. You brawl through waves of enemies with punches, kicks, and environmental combo hits that feel surprisingly tight and impactful for a quest game. What's crazy is how few people talk about it. A co-op beat-em-up with arcade vibes should be everywhere, yet it kinda slips under the radar. The mechanics blend simple combos with satisfying physicality, and bringing a buddy along makes it even more hilarious. It's definitely not the flashiest title, but if you miss that classic arcade feeling and want action that feels good in VR hands, this one's a nostalgic hidden gem you really should check out.
The shadows have returned. The Sultan is back.
Ember Souls. Now, Ember Souls is a game that most folks haven't even heard of yet, but the trailers and community chatter show it hack and slash adventure with parkour, climbing, and combat all mixed together. Imagine vaulting over obstacles, scaling walls like a VR ninja, and then launching into visceral sword fights against ominous foes. That's the energy this promises. The whole vibe feels like Dark Souls meets Prince of Persia. And honestly, that mashup in VR sounds way more exciting than most mainstream sequels. Because it's still early and under the radar, most people sleep on it. But for anyone who loves physical combat and fluid movement in VR, Ember Souls might just be your next obsession once it fully drops.
Where the hell am I?
What is this?
You said they were screwing the planet.
Whoa!
Holy sh...
Fracked. Fracked is one of those PSVR shooters that feels like it should have blown up more. You zip around snowy mountains, blast enemies, and even surf down terrain in this high-energy mix of action shooter plus snowboarding thrills that's super unique to VR. Players always rave about how dynamic and fun the pacing is, but because it didn't have a massive brand behind it, a lot of people missed it. What makes it stand out is how seamlessly it blends speed, precision shooting, and physical movement, so you're constantly engaged, not stuck in one spot. It's got that arcade meets adrenaline feel that I crave when I want something that moves, not just sits there. If you've got a PSVR gathering dust, give this a spin. You'll know exactly why it's so fun almost immediately. Jet Island. Flying around in Jet Island is pure joy. It's one of those carefree sandbox-style VR experiences where you strap on jet thrusters and just soar, dive, and explore open skies with that satisfying sense of freedom most VR games never nail. People often sleep on it because it doesn't have a traditional story or scoreboard, but honestly, that's the charm. It's pure movement play. I spent hours just feeling the wind and mastering tricks with my friends, and each session gave me that, wow, this is VR, feeling that you rarely get. If you want something that isn't about objectives or pressure, but about the pure thrill of movement, this is one of the most underrated titles you'll find.
Welcome to my world. People like me are only born once in 1,000 years. My strength and stamina.
Stalker. If climbing worlds and slicing through hordes sounds like your jam, Stalker will hit the spot. This game throws you into these insane vertically generated worlds where every ascent feels like a new adventure. And the procedural design means no two climbs ever play out the same. I don't know about you, but few VR games make me feel physically like I'm climbing up something massive. And Stalker does that beautifully. Add in crafting, cool weapons, and boss fights lurking up top, and suddenly this isn't just a climbing game. It's an action adventure with real stakes. Most VR players don't talk about it enough, but the depth there, exploration, combat, verticality, deserves a much bigger spotlight.
The man was a genius.
I have my suspicions. And I will catch this killer.
I'm Thomas Edison.
The Invisible Hours. Have any of you ever wanted to feel like a ghost detective in VR? The Invisible Hours does something truly unique. Instead of controlling one character, you're an invisible observer watching a mansion full of characters unravel a murder mystery. You creep around, eavesdrop, and piece together secrets in real time. And that detective groove feels so immersive in VR. Most people skip this because it doesn't have flashy combat or fast thrills, but that's exactly why it's special. It's a narrative-driven experience that puts you in control of what to watch and when. You're literally choosing which threads to follow, and that kind of agency is rare in VR storytelling. If you love mystery, pace, and immersion over pure action, this one is one you'll remember. So that's all for this video, everyone. 10 ultra underrated VR games that deserve way more love from gamers everywhere. These titles may not be on everyone's radar yet, but each one brings something unique, fun, and totally immersive to the table. Let me know in the comments about which one you're going to try from this list. If you'd like to support the channel, like the video and subscribe. It really helps us out. Thanks for watching, everyone.
May your swoop be long. Hellsweeper.